Okay, now that you are finished with your lesson plan packet, and I'll bet you rocked it, let's go ahead and move on to number 5, our read aloud. Now, before school was out, we were learning about shapes. We are going to read a story that not only will help us with our shapes, but it's also an interesting story about a spider who has a problem. So we're going to read to find out what happens to our spider named Walter and how he solves his problem. Let's begin. This is called Walter's Wonderful Web, and it's by Tim Hopgood. Now there's only one name on this book, so what does that mean? That means that Tim Hopgood is the author and the illustrator. He's both, so he's double talented. Remember, the author writes the words and the illustrator draws the pictures, but he did both. Walter's Wonderful Web. Walter's Wonderful Web by Tim Hopgood. Walter wished he could spin a perfect web, just like his friends. But Walter's webs weren't perfect. They were wibbly-wobbly. And when the wind blows, wibbly-wobbly webs blow away. Look at his face. He looks surprised. Can you do a surprised face? But Walter was determined. So one morning, he decided to start with something simple. What do you think determined means? If he's feeling determined, that means he's thinking, I know I can do it. Good for him. Very carefully, he made a small web in the shape of a triangle. Whoosh went the wind, and it blew the web away. Walter started again, but this time he made a bigger web in the shape of a square. Whoosh went the wind, and it blew the web away. Walter sighed and started again. This time he made a longer web in the shape of a... I'll bet you can get this. What shape would it be if we had a square, but we made it longer? A rectangle. But whoosh went the wind, and it blew the web away. Walter sighed. Then he stretched his legs and made a taller web in the shape of a diamond. Whoosh, whoosh went the wind, and it blew that web away too. Perhaps my web should be more round, thought Walter. What shape would he be trying to make if he was trying to make a round-shaped web? So he climbed up and down. He twisted and twirled. Would this be Walter's first perfect web? Nearly. It wasn't a perfect web, but it was almost a perfect circle, and it looked strong. He must be feeling proud. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh went the wind. Poor Walter hit the ground with a bump. How might you be feeling if you were Walter right now? Walter was tired and upset. He felt like giving up. But as the sun went down, he thought about all the different shapes that he had made. And all at once he knew just what to do. So he took a deep breath and set to work. Whoosh went the wind, but it didn't stop Walter or his web, not this time. And as the stars came out, Walter's web shone in the moonlight. It was better than perfect. It was a truly wonderful web. All right, let's think about the problem in the story. What was the problem? Walter couldn't figure out how to make a web that didn't blow away in the wind. So what was his resolution? How did he solve his problem? He kept trying and he finally figured out a way to make a web that didn't blow away. He was determined and that hard work paid off. All right, let's talk about the shapes that we practiced in this book. Triangle, circle, square, diamond, rectangle. All right, now one of these shapes has two names. Can you think of which one it is? The rectangle. Remember, a rectangle can also be called a square, but most people just call it a rectangle. Very good. Nice job, guys. Tell an adult your favorite part of the story. All right, let's go ahead and let's move on to our thematic video. So, we've been doing a lot of talking about animals and how they're all special. Some of them migrate, which means in the winter when it gets cold, they travel to warmer places that are not only warmer, but they have more food. Some animals hibernate, which means they go into a deep sleep all winter long and they wake up in the spring. But some animals have special adaptations. That means their body is changed or it's special in some way that allows them to survive. Now, I want you to watch a video today that doesn't necessarily talk about animals in winter, but it talks about animals and their fur or their hair and how it helps them in their environment. Now, parents, this video is longer than usual. This one is 22 minutes long, but you guys are going to love this video. It's a Cat in the Hat video, and we love Cat in the Hat, right? Who is Mrs. Jones' favorite author? Dr. Seuss, right? This is a Cat in the Hat video, and it's called Hooray for Hair. So if you want to watch it now, go ahead and pause the video, give it a watch, and I'll see you back in a little bit. Okay, so that was number 6, thematic video. And those of you guys that just watched the Cat in the Hat video, I'll bet you really enjoyed it. It's a good one. Tell an adult something that you learned from that video. And if you haven't watched it yet, when you watch it later today, make sure you talk to an adult about what you learned. Now, let's go ahead and let's move on to number 7, flashcard practice. Now, we in kindergarten are learning how to read. And one thing that's important for good readers is that they know their trick words. Remember, a trick word is a word that when you look at it, the letters don't look like what the word actually is. So let's go through and let's practice all of the words that we have learned so far. Now, I know we love our trick word songs, but when we go through them the first time, we'll just say the word, just like always, right? All right, what's this one? 2 is I, your name for yourself. The, A, are, you, and. All right, now I'm going to mix them all up, and now comes your favorite part, right? Let's go ahead, let's go back through, and let's do our songs. Here we go. A-N-D, 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 and is the word that I write with my hand. Nice job. Two. Two is written with a T and then an O. Two. I hope our parents aren't judging Mrs. Jones singing right now. I definitely couldn't have been a singer. Is. When you see I-S, you don't say I-S, you say is. But we've also sung it like this. When you see I-S, you don't say is, you say is. Nice job. We're still learning that one. I. We don't have a song for that one, do we? The. T-H-E spells the. A. A spells a-do-do-do-do-do-do. A spells a-do-do-do-do-do-do. R. A-R-E spells R. U. Y-O-U spells you, you, you. Y-O-U spells you, you, you. Nice job, guys. Okay, that brings us down to number 8, our last thing on our schedule today. And that's giving our parents some additional ideas or activities that we can do at home. Now, when we are at school, do we sit in our chair or sit in the carpet area all day long? No, we take breaks, right? We do movement breaks. So I found different movement breaks that we can do while we're doing our activities at home. And parents, I'll post this on the class tag page as well, but there's 30 different brain breaks on here. Some of them are 5 minutes long, some are 15, and some are even 30. So these are just great ideas. If you notice your kiddo is feeling a little more unmotivated, maybe if they're tired of focusing on their activities, that's fine. Go ahead and give them a break and then come back and finish everything up. So I'll post this to the class tag page, but they're 30 at-home brain breaks. That's the first one. The next one, speaking of brain breaks, there's a website that I love, and I'm excited because usually it costs money, but because of the coronavirus and all of the schools that are shut down, this website's actually giving parents a free 2-week, or maybe it's 3-week membership, but it's called Fluency and Fitness, and I'll post the link on class tag as well. But what it is, it's different reading and math skills that they add workouts or different movements to. So it keeps your child's body active while also focusing on academics, which is pretty cool. So these are our 2 additional resources today, and that wraps up our schedule for today. So kiddos, I hope that you are at home and that you're listening to me as I'm speaking to you on the video, but I hope that you're also listening to your family members that are trying to help you do your learning activities. Because even though we aren't at school, it's still our job to make our brains stronger. But that's it for today. I will see you next